Hi, I'm Procrastinating Writer, otherwise known as James Edwards, so let's begin this video, shall we? And today, I clicked prematurely, but it's all about women! A man in his bedroom alone late at night, talking about women, what could possibly go wrong? Well, seeing as a large portion of my audience are female, a few people in my subscriptions are going to find this useful. Maybe some of you women can fact check this to be true, but I'm going to tell you how to write female characters in the sort of way that I typically do it. I think a lot of people look at videos, and I do this as well, and I look at advice and tip videos, and I try and learn vicariously through it. I try and find the profundity, find the complexity and the answer and the meaning without doing some of the hard work myself. So this is not a very from start to finish how to do it. You got to find your own way, find your own voice that you put in through your findings. So I'm going to leave you with some tidbits of information. Women, take heed. Men know exactly what you're up to. If you didn't have tits, we would have figured this shit out sooner. Tip number one. Where do I start? Where do I start? Like the emotions or the thoughts or the psychological manipulation? Let's start with an example. My friend is a millionaire. I go over to his house. He invites me around to play Xbox, to go see his massive 100-inch television, his gorgeous wife who's a model and yet articulate and smart and cooks and just happens to know how to play pool in as a challenge. Yes. For people who don't know pool. No, pool's in America as well. Yeah, pool. You know, that pool, not pool. I know how to pool and pool. I go over to his house and I just go, fucking hell, Trevor, this is awesome. This is mind-blowing. Your Xbox is connected to God. That's kind of what it is. And you go back home and you go, my friend is awesome, he's got loads of fucking money, his amazing house, he's got all this stuff, it's just great to see him happy and succeed. I knew him in school, he was amazing. Now, let's pretend I'm a woman, so there we go. I go over to my friend Trevina. I go to Trisha. I go to Trisha's house. Like this. I go to Trisha's house and she's a millionaire. She has a gorgeous husband. He's smart, he's hulky. This isn't the attribute for smart, but he's hulky, he's well articulate. He knows how to iron perfectly. And she has a beautiful, immaculate house. Just the gorgeous pug, because apparently women like pugs. I don't understand it. It's small and wrinkled, but that you don't like scrotums. And then in a minute they have brunch and they watch shows and they chat and they just chill out with a lovely view. And I, Trisha, come home and go, oh, why can't I have all those things? And that's pretty much what women like. Here's tip number 5 billion. Women like to have things that other women like. Women live in a very socially, psychologically competitive environment where information is their weapon. Information is what they want. They like learning as much as they possibly can. People, they do it naturally. They're naturally socializing, so they're much better at it than men are. Men are small talk, just want jokes, simple conversation. Everything women say is pretty much loaded. So women tend to compare and compete against other people and what other people want. Generally, men can kind of go their own way. For example, when a man meets a new woman, he doesn't change anything about himself. He shows her all the things he does. He talks about the same things he does with everyone else. He doesn't change. Women, when they meet a guy, learn all about him. Maybe not trying to, but they make the effort to learn someone and they cater themselves around that person's like. Essentially buying gifts for them, obviously, that they'll like this one thing. But then what they talk about, how they act, how they dress and whatnot is naturally tuned to them, and that's pretty much just being decent and nice. But women do that more often. Women are information collectors and naturally change and adapt themselves to who they are. Women against women is the funniest thing in the world. I hope this is still recording, otherwise like I'm gonna lose so much video. Here it is. Yes. I bet a man made this camera. Because if it was a woman, it wouldn't let me talk for 5 minutes without shutting me up. Oh, it's not misogyny, it's research for how to write a novel. Get it right, ladies. Oh, I'm gonna piss so many people off. Well, probably not, but oh well, this is gonna be fun to edit. Just me going, I'm just gonna lose so many viewers. The comments. Yes. Anyway, women. Oh, where do I begin? Where do I end? Where do I start? Where was I? Who am I? I don't know. I did that and I just lost control. Women change who they are around other people. Just they change. So women arguing against women is funny as hell. When it happens to a bloke, no, men don't deal with emotions in so much. It doesn't flavour and layer and become a part of everything that we do. Our social media is not connected to our emotions, and neither is the like button next to our photos. We get a few likes. Yeah, we have. Yeah, I was pretty hot in that photo. I like it. Women do like to count likes, and you do notice that women get more likes than men. I wonder why that possibly is. Maybe because men just adore women and really like women and want to please them, and their skin is soft and they're attractive and they're nice to look at and they smell good and they act all feminine and non-manly and they've got boobs and a bum and just hug you in ways, and you're like, I'd do anything for you. Women don't even like attention from ugly people. I mean, if you're nice to someone who's a woman and you're ugly, they're like, ew, why didn't he talk to me? Why didn't he talk? But any situation where a woman hates about a man for doing something, if he was insanely attractive, then it's okay. But women talk to people differently when they want something. It's just naturally because they want something from you, so they're going to talk in a certain way. Women do this naturally. But they're very socially conscious because they live in a psychologically social, emotional warfare thing where they'll try and be very nice about telling you you're absolute scum. They have a very nice way of avoiding things. Like the whole, someone once told me, the only way to get a man to stop is to tell him you have a boyfriend because he respects a man more than he respects you. No, that's not true. I have a boyfriend is a nice way of saying no and taking away any agency you may have. It's not your responsibility, it's your boyfriend's fault. That's why this conversation has to end. It's your boyfriend's fault. So let's just get that clear. Women like to use roundabout language and doublespeak, and they naturally layer their communication. So when women talk, it's not simple. So men, in order to effectively write women, you need to pretty much just go insane for a short moment. Go emotionally insane and imagine like you have no logic. Now, I'm not saying women don't have logic. Women do have logic, but women apply their logic to their emotions, not sort of sculpture their emotions to their logic. That makes sense, because men like to be slaves to women. We like to be the hero who just goes in the horrible job, makes the money and do the slog, fights a hard fight for his woman, and women like that and know that and will use that. Not always horrible, but women do. Why do you think a lot of literature and stories come out and this general dispelling of the myth that females are vulnerable creatures? They're not. They're just more socially and emotionally inclined, and they are absolutely fine with being emotional over things by showing fear, showing anxiety, showing depression, showing tears to someone. And to a man, it is just massively... It strips you down because men don't deal with that. Men see woman crying or person crying, we think they must be dying or something. They must the horriblest thing in the world. But to that woman, a huge surge of emotions is normal, and they'll be okay the next day. Whilst you're just there going, I have just so much in my brain. The only thing a man can do is let it roll off his back, but it should really shut her up. Women like their emotions. They like to compare their emotions. They like to compare where they are in society. They like the attention of good-looking men or anyone that's important. Women dress to compete with other women, which is why women dress up like the women they see in women's magazines made by women to sell women things. And because they dress up like that, they're trying to attract women. They're comparing themselves against women. So women naturally just hate and care about only what women do, and men are just used as tools. And men have women in their fantasy magazines and whatnot, but women don't try and look like that. They try and look like other women, but better, and the women in their magazines, because female magazines try and portray reality. They don't. They're far more emotional, psychological, and social things talked about, kind of, in a roundabout sense. There's no use in trying to even say that Glamour magazine has hard-hitting journalism. So, this is probably the most unattractive I've ever been to my female audience, and I honestly don't care about that. And men in their fantasy magazines have names next to these women, and the interviews and questions, and they're portrayed as, this is a model, and this is a person who is doing this. Women in magazines are flawless and perfect all the time, set in real life situations with no name, but they are shown and portrayed to be as normal people. So men, remember, women think really weird things are normal, whereas men understand that fantasy is fantasy and what normal is, and women generally are more emotional than men. And you should read and watch some MGTOW stuff, or just feminism lol, or something like that, where people are rational, where it's a normal debate. It's not a 15-year-old heartbroken go fuck all women, and it's not all a, you know, a 30-year-old woman who's just had a cat for too long going fuck all men. Because at the end of the day, if you're extremely feminist, you probably are unfuckable. I'm sort of borderline in where I stand with the whole men's and women's right things, and where I stand with how I feel about women in general. But I know this. Men don't cause nearly as much pain for each other as women do. But women cause pain for other women. Not because their boyfriend left them, or they did whatever. It's what other women have around them, and it's what society tells them that they should have. And it's the image of their relationships and their marriage and their future and their family that they've had for so long, but given to them by other women, conversations about other women, because all women do is talk about other people to people, and then talk about the person they just spoke to. If the other, I just, oh my god, so much. Anyway, this has been a very long rant. I'm gonna watch this and laugh, hopefully, if this all comes together. But hopefully you've learned a little bit about women. So now you know that, and now my audience has pretty much left me. Then all there is left is, I don't know, pizza, I think. Yeah, pizza. Ka-ching!